Navigating Transformation and Clarity. Welcome to your October 2023 monthly astrology forecast. So as the leaves change and the energy begins to shift as we head on into fall, we're in for a month of deep transformation, some insightful revelations, and some powerful shifts with the planetary movements. We're going to have a solar eclipse, a lunar eclipse that are going to emphasize themes of balance and material well-being. They're going to be urging us to release what's holding us back and embrace this transformative growth as we move forward. Mercury and the Sun are both going to be in Scorpio, encouraging us to dive deep with our emotions and our thoughts, while Venus in Virgo is going to emphasize practical expressions of love. This month is an invitation to embrace the change, to reflect on your relationships and your values, to embark on a journey of inner exploration. Be open to transformation as the universal energies are here to guide us towards greater clarity and more authenticity. To work to stay adaptable, to be open-minded as you navigate the planetary currents of October. My hope is that having this forecast available ahead of time is going to give you the areas of your life that are going to be most affected and impacted, and have this opportunity to flow and to work with the changes that are occurring in your life. Remember that eclipses, they bring such dramatic shifts, and that there's not an opportunity to go back. They eclipse people, places, and things into our life and out of our life. And so there is no opportunity to go back, and it can sometimes be jarring and confusing. So at this time, my hope is that you will see this as an opportunity, that this eclipse, the eclipses and the eclipse season, they're meant for growth. My hope is that the astrological insights that you gain will empower you to make the most of this transformative month. So stay tuned to the energies and stay in tune to them, and continue to seek alignment with your higher self. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you're a regular follower, thank you for your support, your thumbs up, your shares, your comments. I invite all of you to join me for my lives on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm going to have one time a month for the new moon and another time of the month for the full moon. And in between, I'm going to be offering tarot consultations. I also encourage you to sign up for my email, where I share the latest happenings with links to find everything. And if you're ready for an in-depth reading of your chart, you can schedule a personalized astrological reading at my website, willowgracemystic.com. So welcome. I'm your astrologer, Patricia Tate, and this is your October forecast. So for Aries Sun and Aries Rising, October is going to be a month of profound change and self-discovery for you. I want to draw your attention to your rising sign, where you have the North Node, the direction in which you're supposed to be heading towards for the next 18 months. This is activated with who are you? Who are you evolving into? I also want to draw your attention to your 7th house. The 7th house is your partnerships, your relationships, it's your clients, it's your one-on-one. And so knowing that those are the two areas of your life that you're going to be focused on, all major changes are leading up to that. So as we move forward in the month, Venus enters Virgo on October 8th. So take a look at, we have Venus down here in the sign of Virgo. So with Venus, Venus is the planet of love. It's harmony. It also rules your 7th house of partnerships and relationships, your clients, your one-on-one. It's the people that you sign contracts with, or the people that you spend the most time with in your life. Now, Venus, the planet of love and harmony, entering into Virgo. Virgo is pragmatic, it's details, it's organization, it's structure. So your relationships, your aesthetics, they're all going to take on more of a practical tone. It's going to be a time that you're going to show your love through acts of service and appreciate the beauty and simplicity. Your 6th house is where you find a balance between work and home, where it's your daily habits, it's where you are of service to others, and it's the house where It's your mental, physical health and well-being. It's where you take time out for yoga, or you take time out for exercising or meditation or seeing the doctor. So it's going to be a time to show love through acts of service, appreciate the simplicity and beauty that's around you, focusing on your own self-care and attention to details in all things that are of matters of the heart. And then as we move on to October 14th, I want you to follow. The sun is now in your 7th house. The moon is there and your south node. So now we're in a solar eclipse. So this is a potent solar eclipse in a new moon with the diplomatic sign of Libra. Libra is the sign of the scales. It's wanting things to be balanced. It's about negotiating and compromise. It's also, think of it as like the yoke on the ox, in that this is where you could be tethered to somebody else and their decisions and things that happen to them, because whatever happens to them also occurs with you. So this eclipse is going to bring this fresh start with new partnerships and a balance to your life. It's going to be an opportunity to leave behind some old relationships or old dynamics, and for you to create these new harmonious connections with people in your life. This can be new business partners, new friends that join you in your social circle. It could also bring new clients that you work with. Now, the old maybe they no longer need your service, or maybe your friend has moved away. This is the house of partnerships. It's your 1+1 house. So set your intentions for equitable collaborations of all kind in order for you to seek this inner equilibrium. This is going to be such a really potent solar eclipse because it is the first one that occurs in Libra since 2016. So if you think back to that time period in your life, you should see like a reoccurring theme, but that is now updated. It's going to supercharge the next 6-month window of your life that's going to refresh and rewire some relationships. So think to yourself, could some part of your work benefit from having a collaborator or someone who complements your skill set? With the moon and Mercury together, Mercury is our thoughts, our ideas. It's the way that we communicate. With them coming in contact also, take this time to write down the qualities and the capabilities of the person that you would like to attract in your life. Now, the moon also opposes Chiron. So as it's opposing Chiron is the wounded healer. It's where we have our wound. Your wound is currently like needing to adjust things with you personally, with where have you not had boundaries, where have things not been exactly the most healthiest, that has to do with you. Because it opposes it, this is people that oppose you. So be mindful of the type of people that you draw in at this time during this eclipse. Now, the lunar nodes. The lunar nodes, they're points in our life where they shift every 18 months, and it's us finding a new direction, sometimes through rebalancing and our priorities. Now that the nodes have moved into the signs of identity, Aries, your first house, and Libra, your partnerships, your relationships, this is going to be asking you to find a balance between who are you and who are you with others? Who are you as an individual, and who are you in your relationships and in your social networks as you move forward? Now, with the South Node in Libra, some of your long partnerships, your long relationships, people that you've been with for a very long time, or alliances, these things may come to an end. The North Node in Aries is asking you to find what is your unique voice, what motivates you. This is your time to set the boundaries and fight for your individual goals and find a way to express yourself in a healthy way. Now, because of the planet Uranus is down here in your second house. The second house is cash, property, self-worth. things that you find value in. So people that you find value in, looking in the mirror and saying, I need to value me. What do I have to do to take care of that? So because of the planet Uranus and its location, this eclipse is inviting you to restructure your relationship so that you can find more equity, more inclusiveness, and more respect for each other's differences as you move forward with this health and this growth and this new transformation of what is going on with you. Then, as Mercury moves into Scorpio on the 22nd, so we have Mercury joining Scorpio, and this is in your 8th house. So your 8th house is the house of your shared resources. I want you to follow the theme on this because it's not just one thing that's going on. It's how one is a trigger for another. So now we have Mercury going into your shared resources. These are the contracts that you share with other people. It's alimony, child support, wills. It's deep bonding that you have with other people. Mercury is our thoughts and our ideas and our communication. So intellectual Mercury entering the deep sign of Scorpio. This is encouraging you to have some deep thinking, to probe into these conversations, to look into these contracts that you share with other people, to dive into the depths of your thoughts and to communicate with authenticity, to find your voice, speak your speak, to uncover any hidden truths and be very cautious about power struggles that you may have with others in discussions. Then following on the 23rd. On the 23rd, the sun is going to enter Scorpio. So as the sun now enters, the sun represents you. It's your energy. And for the month, you are now in the transformative Scorpio. It's intensifying, and it's a period of you going within for personal growth. This is the 8th house is birth, death, rebirth. So now you're going into it, and this is a time of personal growth, rebirth, and shedding of old layers. So think of it as a snake. When the snake grows, it sheds its old skin. So this is going to be a time where you're going to go within, go deep, find personal things of your own, that finding your voice, finding these new connections that you're having, and shedding your skin, shedding off the old layers of who you were. So at this time, you're going to be letting go of what no longer serves you. You're going to be focusing on your inner desires and your inner passions as you move forward. And then on the 28th, so as we move forward, the moon continues to go around, and on the 28th, let me go back. So on the 28th, I want you to notice that the moon is now in your 2nd house. It is conjunct Jupiter, but it's also an eclipse that is occurring in your 1st house. So now we are combining things. This is literally an ending of one area and a beginning of another. Now, this month is going to conclude with this lunar eclipse in the stable sign of Taurus, in your 2nd house of your personal cash, property, self-worth. So it's going to illuminate, what are your values? What are your finances? What do you need for material security as you move forward? You are going to be assessing your relationships with money, your relationship with possessions, and your self-worth, releasing any attachments to these outdated beliefs and embracing a more grounded sense of what is abundance to you. Now, this is the 3rd and final lunar eclipse in the sign of Taurus that represents your money, your security, your hard work. This series, which began rippling across your Taurus and Scorpio axis on November 19th, 2021. So think back to that time period, because now you're ending that as you begin the Aries Libra. This eclipse was back in 2021, was meant to radically revamp the economy as a whole, and on a personal level, your personal financial habits for the last 2 years. This is about being sensible, but in the sensual sign of Taurus, it's about loving luxury and resources in order to cover the basics while enjoying things that you personally consider earthly delights. So Taurus is conjunct Jupiter. So again, we're talking about your second house. Jupiter is opposite of Mars. So opposite of Mars, Jupiter is the planet of abundance, and Mars is passion, drive, the warrior, what you have to do to go after things. And so this time, this is going to be you revisiting your approach to resources. This is where have you given up the lead of and allowed other people to take control over it, and you now taking charge of your financial future as you move forward. This is going to be a major release for you. This is about a complete ending of certain contracts that you have with other people in order to be focusing on what is personally yours. This is going to be focusing on Aries, you, yourself, your values, how you see yourself, how other people see you, taking ownership, and the Libra sector of your life, your seventh house of new partnerships, new alliances, new friends. Now, that does not mean that everybody's going to go to the wayside, but it means that new, fresh will be brought in, and it's about focusing in on partnership, boundaries, contracts, legal matters. All of that is going to be revamped in your life over the next 18 months. So I hope you found this video resourceful and helpful to guide you in this transformative month and time of your life, because this is a new 18-month cycle. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments in the section below.